Live from Bermuda Broadcasting. Good evening, everyone. It's Thursday, November the 23rd. I'm Tarai Trott, and thanks for joining us tonight. Word reaching our newsroom this evening that Nick Kemp, the former OBA senator and party chairperson, has resigned from the post of party chairman with immediate effect. It was just on Saturday night when Mr. Kemp, who ran for the OBA unsuccessfully in the last election, put his name forward to be the chairperson during the party's leadership elections held at Vasco da Gama. However, it was announced earlier this week that Mr. Kemp had given up his Senate seat in favor of OBA political newcomer who would remain as party chairperson. However, news reaching us this evening says Mr. Kemp that he decided allegedly having numerous discussions to move the party forward. However, he could not reach an outcome. Sources also tell us in his letter of resignation, Mr. Kemp, who runs Bermuda Forwards Limited, states the current the same mindset that led to the party's huge defeat at the polls on July the 18th. While the acknowledging the resignation of Nick Kemp, a written statement sent from the party executive says they are sorry that Mr. Kemp decided to take this step, but we would like to thank him for his service and dedication as well as his valuable contributions. The statement continues, the One Bermuda Alliance is a diverse party, and at times with diversity comes differences of opinion, which we respect. The statement says we are sorry that a resolution could not be achieved, but hope that there may be opportunities for Mr. Kemp to serve the One Bermuda Alliance in the future. Well, in other news, Black Friday, the unofficial start of the Christmas shopping period, launches tomorrow, and local retailers have yet to take the pedal off the gas in terms of promoting big savings. Jasmine Patterson tells us more.
After almost 5 years since the shopping frenzy known as Black Friday was introduced to our shores, it continues to be an important day for most retailers. Paula Clark says the 2017 event has been planned months in advance and claims local deals are better for customers.
We had an example of a toy the other day, and we proved that buying it locally saved the customer regular price, that's before sale price. The customer was saving $8.31. It's not a trend just in Bermuda, it's a worldwide trend, and we want to make sure that we're keeping pace, and if not ahead of the pace in other jurisdictions.
Over at the Gibbons Company department store, staff anticipate to attract crowds hoping to tackle their Christmas shopping list with savings as low as 60% off.
We expect it to be madness. Traditionally Black Friday usually happens the day after Thanksgiving, but we allow our customers even today to shop early. So tonight we're open, but we're going to be staying late until 12 a.m. midnight. And Black Friday shopping starts from 8 p.m. till midnight. So you'll be able to get 40% off, which is amazing to be able to shop this early. Not many stores here participate in early Black Friday shopping, so we're really excited about that. And then for tomorrow, since we open early 5 a.m., that's going to be crazy.
Prices have nearly halved on fragrances, home decor, top men's and women's clothing and shoe brands such as The Gap, Superdry, and Mark Fisher. But some say the real fun is the earlier you arrive, the better the deals.
From 10:01 a.m. to 5 p.m., you have 30% off all regular price merchandise, and then all weekend long, you're still guaranteed. If you miss the Black Friday sales, the early mornings, the late nights, you'll be able to shop all weekend long, 25% off.
The items most sought after by shoppers tend to be electronic goods.
Black Friday is our biggest single sales day of the year, and we do look forward to it because for that very reason. We look forward to it. We have certain things that we bring in specifically for this day, but we also have other sales and specials that we do. Everybody's looking for a TV. Sadly, not all of my TVs are on special, but I do have some very good deals on some TVs that I have, 65-inch, 55, various different TVs that I have. But laptops, anything that people would consider to be like a premium gift.
Though the goal of Black Friday is to please shoppers, Mr. Martin says workers also enjoy the early rush.
We open at 4 a.m. and we'll be working until 9 p.m. Of course, we get the Phoenix or the Annex has Santa come as well, so we're involved with taking pictures and so forth. So yeah, it's going to be a long day, but it's fun for us as well. So we'll be tired at the end, but we'll be working through the day, and it'll be like any other day, I guess.
So it's worth it.
Oh yeah, well absolutely, it's worth it for sure.
iClick will also offer savings on MacBook Pros, iPads, and iPhones. Jasmine Patterson reporting for Bermuda Broadcasting News.
Join us for the annual Christmas Parade Sunday, November 26th at 5 p.m. in Hamilton. Bring the whole family to get into the Christmas spirit. There will be free goodies for the kids and great entertainment for all. Experience new dazzling lights and floats as Santa makes his way along the parade route. Kick off the holiday season Sunday, November 26th at 5 p.m. with the Marketplace 2017 Christmas Parade.
When you shop online, the cheapest, quickest, and easiest way to bring your packages into Bermuda is with U.S. Express at mailboxes.
I use them because I have a water sports business, and it's just now and then when I need to get a few things from, or for whatever company, Amazon or something. It's just such an easy connection with our mailboxes.
The staff are fantastic. They call just to let me know that the package has arrived and I can come pick it up, and they're really good here.
Sign up for a U.S. Express account at www.mailboxesunlimited.com today.
Well, a statement in the UK House of Commons yesterday by opposition leader Jeremy Corbyn has led to the Bermuda government to issue yet another statement over so-called tax havens. During Wednesday's budget debate, it was both the UK Finance Minister Philip Hammond and Mr. Corbyn who floated the idea of attaching UK corporate income tax rates to digital revenue generated in the UK, which is currently paid into offshore countries. A Bermuda government spokesperson noting the exchange said the island has no place on any blacklist and had recently secured a whitelist status from the French government. Here's a little of what Mr. Corbyn had to say on the subject.
It's not as if this government isn't doing its best to protect tax havens and their clients in the meantime. The Paradise Papers have again exposed how a super-rich elite is allowed to get away with dodging taxes. This government has opposed measure after measure in this House and their Tory colleagues in the European Parliament to clamp down on the tax havens that facilitate this outrageous leaching from our public purse. Non-paid tax, clever reinvestment to get away with tax actually hits hospitals, schools, housing, and hits the poorest and most needy in our society. There's nothing moral about dodging tax. There's everything immoral about evading it.
Premier David Burt says government welcomes the Chancellor's proposals to capture value on digital and other income originating in the UK, as Bermuda receives no income on these matters. Well, Jamal Simmons, the Tourism and Economic Development Minister, has stressed the relationship between government and the Casino Gaming Commission will be modeled on the existing relationship between the government and the Bermuda Monetary Authority. The minister was forced to address the issue after it was suggested the Gaming Commission could turn into a wing of the government once legislation is passed, giving the minister the ability to give directions to the commission. It was also announced this week that Cheryl Ann Mapp, the respected former magistrate and barrister, will be the new chairperson of the commission.
I think that nobody questions the autonomy and the authority that the BMA has. Policy direction, it's legal policy directions, general direction. When it comes to investigations, when it comes to the general actions of the Gaming Commission, that's off limits, completely off limits. But I think it's important to note, when you have a mutually respectful relationship based on trust, these things don't become an issue. And I think that part of the reason why Mrs. Mapp was chosen was because of her strength of character, her integrity, and I can assure you she will stand very firm against any form of interference.
Now let's head over to AccuWeather headquarters for the latest.
AccuWeather is presented by BF&M Insurance Group. We now go to AccuWeather headquarters.
The BF&M Insurance Group is pleased to bring you tonight's AccuWeather forecast. Good evening, Bermuda. I'm your AccuWeather meteorologist, Daji Aswad. Today, we saw most of our moisture push its way out of the area, leaving us with a kind of fair day out there. But we do have our next shot of moisture. It's coming from Florida. It's going to scoot its way into Bermuda, and that's going to bring us some heavy rainfall as we head into your Saturday. And here's a closer look at Bermuda now. We do have some ridging in place. That means high pressure that is going to keep us very dry and try to keep that moisture held off towards the west and towards the east of us, at least for tonight. So here's a look at your current conditions across Bermuda. We're sitting at 75 degrees across the island, humidity at 75%, winds north-northwest 8 to 12 knots, and we saw very windy conditions yesterday. Today and into tonight, we do expect those winds to calm down quite a bit. There was a small craft warning out, and I suspect that will go away as we head into tonight. The water temperature 72 degrees, waves in the reef 1 to 2 feet, waves out 4 to 6 feet. So we're seeing very calm winds, and that's going to calm those waves down as well. Tonight, we do have on the map a chance for some spotty showers, but I suspect most of that moisture will be moving out quite quickly. We'll see some partly cloudy conditions with a low of 68 degrees. As for tomorrow, it's going to be a fairly nice day, high of 75 degrees, low of 68. We could see some sun through some high clouds. That moisture will try to peek in. It's going to be in the form of clouds. No rain or showery conditions are expected for tomorrow. As for your high tides, your first high tide will be expected at 11:56 tonight. Your second one at 12:20 p.m. tomorrow. So, like we said, those winds will begin to diminish as we head into tomorrow. And if you're getting away, here's a look across New York, 49 degrees, 40 for the low, but with sunshine. Boston not looking too bad, topping off at 48. And if you're headed to London, 48 with the low of 35 and mostly cloudy conditions. As for Miami, that's where that moisture is coming from. So they're still seeing some thunderstorms out there with a high of 83 degrees. As we take you across the Caribbean right now, Jamaica is experiencing some wet weather, thunderstorms in spots, as well as rain. Barbados and Trinidad, not as wet, mostly cloudy in Trinidad with a high of 91 degrees. Barbados topping off at 86 for today. Here's a look at our extended forecast here in Bermuda. So Friday, we're expecting a pretty decent day, not too worried about any rain until we get into those overnight hours. That moisture is going to usher its way in, and it's going to be full on here on Saturday. We could see a possibility for a thunderstorm in spots and definitely some heavy rain as well. We do want to bring to your attention there could be some ponding in areas that usually don't take well to heavy raining conditions, so keep that in mind. But as for your Sunday, we'll be drying out, and that's just in time for the parade. The Santa Claus parade, that is, and we hope you're going to be attending. It's this Sunday, November 26th, starting at 5 p.m. in the city of Hamilton. The parade will feature an array of live bands, dance performances, festive lights, and a lot of cheer to celebrate the Christmas season. So I hope you can get out and enjoy it. As we start the work week, we'll see cloudy conditions here. We can't rule out a spot shower or two for your Monday with a high of 72 degrees. And as for your Tuesday, it's looking a little bit better, mostly sunny conditions with a high of 71. So we just have to make it through that rain, and then we can enjoy the parade on your Sunday. And we also want you to stay tuned into Ocean 89, Power 95, and Inspire 105 for all your latest news and updates.
AccuWeather was presented by BF&M Insurance Group.
Fall into savings all month long. Check out the great deals throughout our website. We have everything to create the living room of your dreams. Browse through our site to see the large selection in all price ranges. Entertain guests with the perfect dining set. We have something for all tastes and styles. Imagine falling asleep in your new bedroom. We have just what you're looking for. Don't wait. Call or stop in today and fall into savings all month long.
Visit Bermuda's #1 furniture store today. Big Savings Zone, Southside St. David's.
Christmas in Bermuda is a special time for most of us. Unfortunately, for some families in Bermuda, there is no warm Christmas. This year, many families will be in need. It's the 29th anniversary of the Lions Clubs of Bermuda and the Marketplace helping share the Christmas spirit, so let's help take care of each other. Shop at any marketplace, shopping center, Modern Mart, or A1 stores and purchase extra tins and non-perishable items. Once you have purchased these items, place your food donations into Santa's bin located at the front of the store. The Lions Clubs will collect your food contributions and assemble them into hampers to be delivered to the families in need around the island. Christmas comes once a year. Help make it a special time for every family in Bermuda. Sponsored in part by the Bermuda Broadcasting Company and the Royal Gazette.
Well, next Monday, one of the world's most prominent researchers into inequality will be speaking at the Heritage Worship Center in Hamilton. Chuck Collins has written extensively on the need for the rich to be more charitable and himself gave away a $500,000 inheritance. He'll be a guest of the Bermuda Community Foundation, and Hal Davis spoke to the foundation's general director to ask her why they sought an expert in inequality to give a talk.
The Bermuda Community Foundation, its primary mission is to work with donors to establish a permanent source of funds for the nonprofit community, and we bring together a lot of unrelated donors to make gifts to the community. But our second key mission is to bring information, bring resources to topical discussions in Bermuda so that we can inform the social issues that are at play in the community and in any way that we can. So a colleague actually gave me the book Born on Third Base a couple of months ago, and I read this and I thought, wow, these are the kinds of discussions that we're actually having in Bermuda. If you've looked at the news lately, we have something like 2,000 people on financial assistance, a $50 million sort of annual budget that goes to that. So people are really struggling. And if we're going to have a discussion that talks about policy and it talks about how do we deal with income inequality, we thought, how can we play a role in this? How can we help to inform it in the position and with the resources that we have? So we decided to have a visit.
And for those who haven't read his book, what does Mr. Collins say?
So, and you know, I don't want to act as if I've written the book, but it's quite intriguing because he talks about how inequality can cause problems for a community, having great disparity between the wealthy and the poor. And we're starting to see what that looks like. We've seen an erosion of the middle class. And so there are applications for Bermuda, even though this is a book that's written about the situations in the States. He also talks, and I think it was so intriguing, he talks about sort of what can happen based on individual sort of where they're born in life and what they come into with life. And in part of his book, he takes sort of 4 different kids with 4 different sort of family histories and life histories and projects what will happen to those kids based on the privileges that they have or don't have, and something he calls tailwind, what we don't account for in terms of what pushes people to progress, and just even sort of basic family information about how to invest, about what schools to apply for, what you have to do to be prepared for certain schools, good education systems, and what all those sorts of lists and access to different kinds of privileges can do for people or not if you don't have them. There are so many applications for Bermuda, and this is why we think it's not only good for us to have that discussion here as a community, but also if we can bring in some other ideas that are being talked about in other communities as well, bring them here and let's talk about it so as we go forward and look for solutions, we're informed.
And what would you say to people who like what you've been talking about, and say, but I'm not an economist, I don't know if I should cover one thing.
So what we have done with this, really it's a 2.5-day whirlwind visit, is we've tried to come up with a forum or an event for everyone. So on Monday night, we have, and actually it's very exciting, I can't wait to see it, but we've asked a group called the Dynamic Debaters and Learners, who's a debate group headed by Mr. Gladstone Thompson, and they have been reading the book. So these are middle school and high school kids for about 6 weeks, and they're going to debate this topic. They're going to debate the topic, debate the book. And we visited them, myself and another board member last night. They're an exciting group. They've read the book, they're quoting the book, but they have ideas about how it looks in Bermuda and in modern day of some of the things that they're dealing with. So this is a way, we felt, of having this narrative, this story told by young people to some young people. We're expecting a lot of young people as well at the community event, but also to people who aren't economists, who are not social policymakers, who aren't lawmakers, and they aren't necessarily business people. That's us. It's it's regular people.
I'm Michaela, and this is Taking Off. Social investment is an important part of the ethos of Bermuda Skyport. We believe in giving back to our community with a focus on education and young people. This week, we launched our social investment plan with a sizable donation to East End Primary School as part of our continuing investment to the St. George's community. The donation was books, classroom libraries for P3 through P6 with hundreds of books for the students to enjoy. The current book selections were out of date, and new books were needed at all levels. The donation ensures students will have a large and varied selection of books to choose from. This particular project was chosen as Skyport's inaugural investment as it was necessary to outfit the classroom libraries with new titles. When Skyport met with Principal Julie Fogo to ascertain the needs of the school, this was at the top of her list. The donation includes fiction and nonfiction books, and there are multiple copies of each book to ensure every student has equal opportunity and access. See you next time.
Bermuda Olympians. 3 letters can be added to your CV. Patrick Singleton, the brainchild behind the World Olympians Association's initiative, tells us more.
It's taken a while. I created it in 2013. It's OLY. The idea is a post-nominal letter, like a certificate, a designation for Olympians. You know, these athletes have worked for most of their young lives to perfect their sport, and we thought that they should be recognized like you would, say, a Bachelor of Arts or MBA or maybe even a PhD. So OLY can be used after your name on a CV or resume or a business card, and it's a simple thing, but it carries a lot of it carries recognition of your athletic achievement. And Olympians can register by going onto our website, olympians.org, and you fill in your details, and you can get it. Now, we expect that Olympians uphold the values that the Olympics are about, and just as this certificate, this designation can be given, it can be taken away. So if you're found guilty of doping violation, or if you're not upholding the right Olympian values in life, that it can be removed.
Tonight's sports is brought to you by the all-new Boundary at Fairmount, Southampton, the West End's only sports bar. Catch all the action and enjoy smoked to perfection barbecue, beer, and other pub favorites. It's game on at Boundary.
Madeline Moore competed in the 60th Secondary Team Swimming Championships for Plymouth College in the Olympic pool at the London Aquatic Centre. Moore was part of the Plymouth College Senior Girls Relay Team that won 2 silver medals. During the Senior Girls 4x50-meter freestyle relay final, Moore and her teammates picked up their first silver medal with a time of 1:48.51. They would also win a silver medal in the 4x50 medley relay, and they were clocked at 2:01.48. In the Senior Girls 4x50 freestyle relay, Moore swam the first leg for her team, which was the 50 freestyle, touching the wall in a time of 26:10, which unofficially lowers the 17 to 18 women's 50-meter freestyle age group record and breaks the Bermuda Open record set by Rebecca Heiliger. Heiliger's time qualified her for the 2016 Olympic Games, but Moore is on target to qualify for the Commonwealth Games on the Gold Coast in Australia that takes place in April. The qualifying time set for her discipline is 26:06. Mallory began competing in the Tri-Tennis Turkey Bull National Open Tennis Showcase. Playing in the boys' 16 singles, Mallory won his opening game against Adrian Barone in straight sets, 6-1, 6-1 in the round of 32. Mallory would then face off against Codrin Miller in the round of 16. Mallory would make light work of Miller as he would win 6-love, 6-1. The 2017-18 Bermuda Bowl Hockey League season is well underway, and with games rained out last night, today we bring you a look at the current leaders in the division. Jeremy Estey from the Winnipeg Jets is the league leading goal scorer with 16 goals. Jeffrey Marash, also from the Winnipeg Jets. Andrew Boner from the Montreal Canadiens. Corey Collette from the Ottawa Senators, and Chad Cunliffe from the Edmonton Oilers all have 8 goals. Estey leads the overall point standing with 28. Marash has 24, while Matt Benson from the Winnipeg Jets has 17 points. Ross Ruffinage from the Vancouver Canucks has 14, while Boner and Kuyet both have 13 points. The 43rd edition of the Goslin's Golf Invitational Tournament is sold out, with the international players making up over 60% of the 105 golfers in the field. There's a star-studded field in both the professional and amateur divisions, making this year's Goslin Invitational one of the most anticipated in years. On the professional division side, Brad Adamman is a veteran of the PGA Tour, makes his inaugural debut. Former Goslin's champion and champion tour player P.H. Horgan returns to Bermuda, while former PGA Tour player and U.S. Open runner-up Mike Donald returns to the Goslin Invitational. Local professionals like Kamiko Smith and Daniel Augustus are also primed to capture the championship. This year's Invitational also boosts its strongest amateur field, with the possibility of an amateur winning the entire tournament. USGA mid-amateur champion Matt Parzili will tee it up as he preps for his busy 2018 season that includes invites to the Masters, U.S. Open, and U.S. Amateur Championships. In Bermuda basketball, Elite City League action saw a total of 250 points scored inside the Summersfield Academy Gymnasium last evening. In the opener, the Warriors defeated the Storm 73-58. The Warriors were led to victory by Kobe Imlay, who scored 26 points. He also had 11 rebounds and 4 assists, while Akil Smith scored 14 points for the Storm. He also grabbed 6 rebounds, 6 assists, and 1 steal. In Game 2, the Panthers defeated the Renegades 68-51. Chris Harwood scored a game-high 30 points for the Panthers to go along with 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, and 1 block shot. Ry Aronson scored 13 points to lead the Renegades. He grabbed 7 rebounds. He had 1 assist, 1 steal, and 1 block shot.
Tonight's sports is brought to you by the all-new Boundary at Fairmont, Southampton, the West End's only sports bar. Catch all the action and enjoy smoked to perfection barbecue, beer, and other pub favorites. It's game on at Boundary.
Bermuda's men's and women's National Rugby Sevens teams have been announced for the upcoming Rugby Americas North Rand Sevens tournament that will take place in Mexico City November 25th and 26th. The men's team consists of Brian Archibald, Corey Boyce, Patrick Callow, Aldo Campbell, Dan Cole, Deshaun De Silva, who is the captain, Macau Dill, Alex Doyling, Tom Healy, the vice captain, Bertie Horsfield, David Lund, Antonio Parent-Chief leader, and Neville Zool. The women's team will feature Mika Tamita, the captain, Kelly Newsom, Lauren Rothwell, Lasmiri Santana, Gillian Cross, Charisse Woodley, Emily St. Clair, Amanda Swan, Carly Aileen, Danica Borden, Gemma Godfrey, and Laura Mulligan. I'm Earl Baisden with Bermuda Broadcasting Sports.
You can count on us.
Red, white, or black seedless grapes, only $3.99 per pound. Fresh certified Angus beef, top round steak, only $6.99 per pound. ShopRite cream of chicken or chicken noodle soup, 10.5 ounce tin, $1.09. Markel Pro paper towels, 1 roll, only $1.89. Armor Hammer laundry detergent, 75 ounce bottle, only $9.99. All stores open Monday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. for your shopping convenience.
You can count on us.
Looking for a challenge, new adventures, forge lifelong friendships, and earn an extra $5,000 to $6,000 a year?
Good stuff.
Be a part of a proud and honorable legacy of service. The Royal Bermuda Regiment is seeking volunteers.
Let's go, guys!
Call us at 238-1045 or visit bermudaregiment.bm. The Royal Bermuda Regiment, your regiment.
And that's our broadcast. I'm Tarai Trott. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.